good evening, or good night, wherever, whenever, and whoever you are. Today I'm going to be reading a part 2 from the thing that I recorded last time. It's not fully finished, but I suppose none of this really is. Last time Coco arrived at the island, she put on a little shrimp suit. Well, not little shrimp, it's a big shrimp. Big shrimp, probably the size of like a footstool. Probably the size of Coco. But she put on a shrimp and she went traversing into the forest to go gather ingredients for some cake. Are you ready? Puffball, draft 1. Coco wiggled puffball after puffball out of the center of the flower. Was it getting darker? Coco looked up. The long pink petals, which were nearly flat when she began, now stood tall all around her. She punched one. It barely moved. This was not good. She immediately began to scale the column of spikes protruding from the petal before her. Dinosaur spines, rock climbing, mohawks, Venus flytraps, leaving all the puffballs behind. She just barely squeezed through the shrinking hole atop the flip-top. She just barely squeezed through the shrinking hole atop the flower tower and into the daylight. She slid down the freedom side of the flower. How lucky she was. How very lucky she was to have left her shrimp suit down on the ground, for if she had not, she'd have had to leave it trapped with the puffballs and be left entirely swagless. But she was not out of swag and she was not out of chances. There were other giant flowers around. There was a whole field of them. But all that meant for now was that she was surrounded by a field of trouble. Coco splooted herself onto the giant shrimp shell and thanked. She thinked and she thought and she thanked until the plan sprang up and waved hello. She went over to a petal and tried to rip it from its base, but it would not budge. She looked around, searching for something she could use. There was a grello seashell hiding beneath a ladybug. "Order for pickup." Coco said nothing. "Hello," Coco chirped. "Hi, I want a large fly, diet soda, and, actually, no, none of that. I want a pizza with half sardines, half nothing. You got that?" Coco squeaked in reply. "Okay, I'll come to pick it up in an hour." Coco set the shell back down. She already had a mission. Coco made her way to a fat oaky tree. It was a beast of a thing, and as it had grown, the thick roots exposed themselves to the air, taking all sorts of stones with them. They lay nestled together in the pits and dips and tiny wooden potholes, a tiny tableau of time undisturbed for what must have been decades. But the world holds still for no one. It was disturbing time. She took a flat rock and held it against a large stone set into the earth. Then she took a heavy rounded rock and struck it at the side of the first. Little by little, she chipped away at the flat rock until it formed a jagged blade. She walked back over to the giant flower and tried again, this time sawing away at the base of the petal. It soon fell to the earth. It gained a friend, and then another, and then another and another, until about 1/3 of the petals had been sawed off. Then, and only then, did Coco crawl onto the flower's disc. As she wiggled the puffballs, the petals began to rise, tall and even and orderly. Their edges seemed together like the shoulders of soldiers. As hard as the petals tried, they could not hold her. Coco gathered up all the puffballs and, without even the slightest of struggles, hopped out the big empty doorway she had left herself. Mission complete. 3 more to go. It definitely needs some editing, some love and some care, but it's going well so far. As for me, it's currently 10:13 a.m. on a Friday. I'm drinking coffee. The regular kind, not decaf. Not sure what I'll do today, but I'll figure it out. As for you, good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bedbugs bite. And if they do, bite them back even harder. I'll see you next time.